Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay. So I actually didn't shut down the break properly, and so now I've lost the screen. I got my screen back. Okay, good.
I have to explain something to the audience. I'm looking at my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's only partly because I'm rude, which I am, but it's also because these are my notes for the show, and instead of me just kind of staring down like I'm depressed or something, like, oh, the show's great. I'm just gonna.
Simon, can I see
my
them?
phone? What?
Can I see them?
The notes?
Yeah, it's
sure.
what we're working on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's still. We figured out the best way to do this at this point. We've tried all sorts of really complicated methods.
Which probably work for a better, like if you had 4 people, you'd need that stuff.
Yeah, and it would anyway, I just started the timer for this section. But this is we've gotten to the point where we do want to get these communications out to you in a post also. Yeah. And so we've been doing all the research, and we realized, okay, why don't we just do the research and put all of the research that we do into the post at the time that we do the post, like the time that we do the research.
Yeah.
And then organize the way we're going to do the show, and just send that out as a separate post, and then send the show out as a separate post.
Yeah, because I mean, this is like the study notes from the show. It's not like a document that we need to preserve for the rest of the time. You know what I mean? It's like we have to change some links later. It's like, well,
and it's also good for us to go back and look at where we came up with things. But I know, for example, I went today and I went and set up a whole bunch of playlists on YouTube for different things that we're going to talk about, sorts of things that we agreed upon. And I actually put the list for the HoloLens, the Microsoft HoloLens, in this deck here in this actual post. So this is the first time we're doing this. What we're doing, what you're going to see in it actually is a lot of back work. So it's not going to have as many of the actual links that we looked at to come up with the things that we're talking about. But it's a good start. And I'm putting the square pusher thing in there for you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a good app. Like, it's ridiculous.
It is off the hook. Really, I
get it. Don't expect anything normal.
Yeah, just a little bit. It starts.
Like, reality kind of folds several times. No spoilers.
I couldn't.
If I told everybody what was going on, they'd just be like, I don't
get it. Yeah, I've always had to show people it. Like, you just have to look at it, and I couldn't explain it to you if I wanted, because it's just all sorts of messed up.
Yeah,
and inappropriate.
It's like trying to tell people about your near-death experience.
There's a light,
music, an angel.
Yeah. So what's an angel like again?
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
So, yeah.
Okay. So we're looking at different headsets. The angel riding a bicycle.
You've seen it, unless maybe you got to go through it again and look around a little more, because it's special. There's lots of stuff there.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff there in the square pusher thing. Yeah, there's far too much things in there. It's overwhelming. Yeah. It
really is.
It's a lot.
There's no mental state where it's not overwhelming. By the way.
No, it's just there's a lot to take in.
Wake up fresh in the morning, it'll be overwhelming. Anyway, yeah.
You feel so dirty after.
I know. It's like, what just happened?
What was that? Sorry. Oh, okay, yes. In other news, there are headsets. This is how we experience virtual reality that we're talking about. Put a headset on. This is why I brought this thing down.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
And that's the Daydream. So this is what I said I'd get back to later. Now, I wasn't thinking that my phone, which I'm using for a timer now, it can only be a phone or a part of this, so I'm going to make believe. What I do with this one is kind of cool. If you haven't seen it, you just put the phone right in there.
Yep.
And when the phone actually makes contact, it does this thing on the screen that flickers or something. and it goes automatically into the mode that a different mode for doing VR.
Right.
So the screen is displaying video differently than it does for cardboard.
It might be more like anti-alias or something. Like
Yeah, I have no idea. Honestly, I should look more into it.
We were talking about this earlier. Cardboard, while it's really awesome and cool, it's a pure hack. Like it's a thing you can do with the phone. It's not what the phone was meant for.
No, not at all.
It's like using the flashlight for the flash. It's like, hey, that's cool. It's like sometimes cooler than that.
I can find my keys.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hack. It's a hack you can do with your phone. Whereas the Daydream is the next level of that. It's like, okay, we've acknowledged that we can do this with the phone. Let's really do it.
Well, yeah, and this is an easy way to get the tech on the market again.
Yeah.
The cardboard was a very easy way for them to get the tech on the market before everybody else got the tech on the market.
Yeah, get developers developing too, because some of these kits can just go right back.
Yeah, right? And same with Daydream, because they're coming out with a couple new Daydream headsets. I think Lenovo has one coming out, and HTC Vive has one coming out. I want the HTC Vive.
That's the one I want too.
Yeah,
we're gonna get
so that's that they have a teaser on their website for that.
Yeah.
And so my understanding is, and I'll get more into this as we continue doing the research, I'm looking at my phone and imagining it in here, but that there's going to be a new Daydream software version, a 2.0. So we got to find out about that. And there are, within those headsets, the headsets have, I think, 1 or 2 more sensors.
I can believe it, because they can take stuff out of that too. Like you don't really need 3G or any of that stuff.
I don't need to know, like you don't need to have most of what's in this thing.
Yeah.
And I wonder battery, a processor, some RAM, and a screen.
Yeah, like you don't need to make it like the thinnest phone. It can be like just big now too.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, you can use space isn't as much as a concern either. You can Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And your weight, you don't have to worry about double casing.
Yeah.
So it's because, for example, you have on this one, you have this thick part here. Then you have that thick part there to sit it, and then once you close them off like that, so you're dealing with like that's about 2 centimeters of space. That's if you put what you need to put in there light enough. There's a lot of space in there to do all sorts of things. Right? It's like 3 times the width of my phone.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of space for a modern device now.
Yeah, today I think the Surface Studio thing is about twice the size of that. I've seen it in the Microsoft Store and I've touched it and tilted it back and forth. That thing has no right to exist. It's just wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to come up with some kind of a reason for that. So there's, I don't know what it is. I want it so badly. It's so nice. Yeah, so there's the Daydream thing. And I like it because it's accessible. So there's the price points on these different systems. There's the Vive. I was on the Vive the other day. That's when I had to call back and say, sorry, I was an ass about that. Have you made it into a Microsoft store or anything like that?
I don't think we have one on the island. We've got what's it called? London Drugs, which is a authorized dealer of a bunch of stuff.
Okay, yeah. So the store out here in Square One in Mississauga has the Vive on display, and to a point that I'll make later. When I was in there, the Oculus Rift was kind of over there in the corner, kind of like gathering dust. And I asked them about it because I didn't know what it was. And he said, "Well, that's the Oculus Rift, but you don't want to try that."
It's because get the bucket.
Yeah.
I think, as I recall from my Oculus days, the reason I gave it up is because you couldn't develop on it because you couldn't use it for more than 10 minutes without being like, oh God, you need to sit.
Yeah.
Because I'm not prone to that. Like, I'm really not prone to being seasick, and I got seasick. So that was
all right. Well, there's a article on news.com that I read this morning that was kind of enlightening. And then we have PlayStation VR. So that's from the developing world, if you remember that, as Project Morpheus, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was. So they came out with the PlayStation VR. It looks sexy. I've heard mixed reviews about it.
Yeah, me too.
It's
I have as well.
Yeah, the people I know that have them, on the other hand, really like them.
I can imagine it would also be pretty damn good too, as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be better than, for gaming at least. It's gonna be better, I think, better than the phone.
Yeah.
I've seen the PlayStation on some headsets before, and like the old PlayStation, just on some headsets before, and that kind of immersion was really cool. So having developers actually do things specific for VR. I mean, it is still a 1.0 though, and I'm weary of all of these products.
Yeah.
Right now, spending on any of them.
It's not going to be the optimal experience for the money. So
No,
I hate to put it that way. It's for enthusiasts, even still.
Yeah, I mean, really, they have to address pricing on these things. So
really,
let's talk about that.
For enthusiasts for years too, though. Like, that didn't take long. And yeah.
Well, let's skip that and the rest of the systems when we get back then.
Yeah.